Chapter 2: The Spiritual Masters from India. It was a hot afternoon in Suganhalli, a small village located in the district of Tumkur, Karnataka in India. The 72-year-old man, Ramakrishna Shastri, was narrating the Bhagavad Gita to a small crowd seated under the banyan tree, in the open area near the Lakshmi Narsimha Swami temple. Karmanya vadikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana. As the old man was about to explain the meaning of the Sanskrit shlok, a car stopped nearby. All the village folks looked at the car with curiosity. They seldom had visitors, except for a few religious folks who came to visit the temple, but never in the afternoon. The old man also stopped and put a hand on his forehead to see clearly. He had vision issues for a few years, and long objects blurred his vision. To everyone's surprise, a young man who looked like a vagabond walked towards them. Although Indian, his attire and attitude seemed Western. He stood in front of the old man, folded his hands in a salute, and inquired in English, "Sir, could you please tell me where Mr. Ramakrishna Shastri lives in this village?" The old man was taken aback. People from the city rarely knew him by name. He was just an old man living in a village with his wife. He had little to do with modern society. To pass the time and educate, all he did was to preach Srimad Bhagavatam to village folks who cared to listen, especially in the afternoon when working in the farm was impossible due to the high sun. "Yes, young man, I am Ramakrishna Shastri," the old man replied in perfect English, surprising the young man who thought he might have trouble communicating with him. "Great sir, I am glad to locate you. I hope you can speak English," the young man said, showing his perfectly aligned white teeth as he smiled. "I can. Now, please sit down and tell me why you are looking for me." The old man gestured towards a patch of greenery. The young man hesitated, thinking his jeans might get dirty. "It is Mother Earth, young man, she won't make you dirty. Please sit down," the old man insisted with a mischievous tone. "All right, if you say so," the young man sat on the grass and continued, "I have a special message for you. Sir, you are to come to Bengaluru city with me. It is the order of the President of the United States." The old man chuckled. "The President of the United States doesn't rule India. And for your information, I don't take orders from anyone except Lord Krishna, whom I worship from my heart." The young man became extremely nervous. He didn't expect such subtle rudeness from the old man. Scratching his head, he replied, "I am sorry, sir, if I have offended you in any way. However, this message is to honor you. As I understand, you are the author of a spiritual book, and I am told that the President of the USA has personally read it after it was recommended by none other than our Prime Minister of India. In fact, they consider you a spiritual master." The old man's eyebrows flexed together as he thought. After what seemed like a long time, he replied, "Yes, I authored a book years ago, but I doubt it has reached our Prime Minister, and it is astonishing to hear that the President of the USA has read it too. I am a simple man who serves Lord Krishna in my own way." The village folks, who couldn't understand the English conversation, scratched their heads in confusion. The young man, now more confident, looked deep into the old man's eyes and said, "For reasons unknown to me, the present President of America thinks that you can serve his mission. And the Prime Minister of India has approved the same." The old man chuckled before replying, "I never could understand the mystic ways of Lord Krishna. Yet I am unsure how I can render this service, for I am an old man awaiting his death. Secondly, I am an unsought old man who has no interest in the activities of the modern world, including name or fame." The young man took the old man's hands and whispered, "You can consider me your grandson if you wish, and I urge you to come with me to Bengaluru, where an online meeting is scheduled tonight at 7:30. You will primarily talk to our Prime Minister, and then, if you wish to continue, you can directly interact with the President of the US to know how you can serve him. Of course, this will be an online meeting." The old man looked at the sky and after a few seconds, he said, "It's the Maya of Lord Krishna, what else can I say? Anyway, give me some time so that I can inform my wife and arrange for someone to stay in my home while I am away. I hope I don't have to stay more than a day." "Yes, sir, please do that while I visit the temple and offer my prayers to the God. I don't have any information about how long you will be away from your home. For now, all I know is that you will stay today in a 5-star hotel in Bengaluru." The old man spoke to the villagers in the local dialect for a few minutes, and they all gestured in understanding. Then, the old man pointed towards a house near the temple and the young man nodded, indicating he understood. The old man began to walk towards the house.